Hey guys, welcome to the bunker.
Welcome.
This is it. Isn't it so nice in here? Wow.
They haven't seen the bunker before.
Well, let me show you around.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, we
yeah, you guys don't know why it's called the bunker.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Wait, huh?
We talked about this last bunker
Has anyone
episode,
even talked? Has Ace brought up the bunker?
No.
Not yet.
Oh.
It'll be coming
Spoilers.
soon. You'll hear about it. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So as we release episodes, are we going to release these bunkers too?
Yes.
And so
That's the
at
whole
some
point of
point,
You'll understand
we'll
what the
be
bunker
referring
is.
to something that has not yet occurred.
That's
That's
exactly
right.
what we were just talking
the goal
about.
is to only talk about episode 2 right now.
Yes.
Right.
But
No,
however,
but I meant in terms
However,
of calling
the
this
name,
the bunker.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's episode 3, right? Or 4?
Yeah,
It doesn't
close.
matter.
Like
You'll
5, 6.
find
You guys
out,
will find out.
listeners.
Yeah.
Just get ready. It's
At this point,
crazy.
though,
It's crazy, but the bunker it's got so much weight behind it.
No.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You're gonna
the bunker.
lose
You don't
your
even
mind.
understand. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's why they call it the bunker.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
that's like crazy.
That's like the craziest thing I've ever
Yeah.
heard in a D&D
Okay.
podcast ever.
Okay.
Anyways.
Super good.
So episode 2.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Scrambling for eggs.
That was a fun episode.
Is
That
that
was
what the
a fun
name is?
Yeah.
It was
Scrambling for eggs.
the reason why I liked that episode a lot, like recording wise, is because the first one we were still trying to figure out like the form a little
Yes.
bit, and we were also like playing our characters still like a little bit new.
Yeah,
so
like learning how to play them.
it felt like the first time we started finding like a rhythm and like the relationships and like how the story, like how this actually functions, how to like improv it. I don't know.
I really thought we recorded a bunker episode about this.
No.
No.
Are we
only
positive we
recorded
didn't?
one.
Yeah, we're positive. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I just had a memory
We talked
of...
about
Listeners,
it.
leave a comment if we already did this episode.
No, I just have a memory of talking about it, but that's fine.
Let us
please
know
don't keep that
if
in.
you already heard us talk about
I just
this.
was confused.
And if in fact we did not record an episode
Then
already
keep
on this,
listening.
then just go ahead and laugh at Alyssa in the comments.
That's a good idea.
Or you can email us at whirlwindchronicles@gmail.com and make fun of me.
Yeah.
We may or may not have just recorded the ads.
Drag her in her email inbox.
Yeah, that's fine. I respect it.
Oh my god.
I thought that this one was very fun because it was just different because we didn't interact with like any characters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, we were
There
like,
weren't really
we were just like
NPCs.
in nature, which I obviously love, but also just like, yeah, it was just animals around. Like, I don't know, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, there was more of an emphasis on us interacting with each other,
Yes.
which I think was helpful in the beginning.
So important
Yeah.
in the beginning. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
I think it's fun to do like almost like, I mean, kind of all D&D's set up in a way of this, but like almost like escape room
yeah.
puzzles.
Yes. Yeah.
That like aren't really like, ooh, who do you meet and what do they tell you?
Who do we
But
get
it's
info
more just
from?
like, how do
Figure
you
it
solve
out.
it? Figure it out.
Yes, I like that.
So that was kind of some of the
Yeah.
idea.
I
There
feel like-
really are. Oh, sorry.
No,
go
you
ahead.
go ahead.
There really are like 2 different modes of D&D. I feel like there's the escape room mode, and then there's the like NPC mode where you're
Yeah.
like either trying to outsmart or like recruit or something with an NPC, like a character that's not on your side with the
Mhm.
DM,
Yeah.
or you're like in the full escape room dungeon crawl kind of mode.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're getting a good mix
Mhm.
with these episodes. 'Cause
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
me
much
too.
more
The
like a puzzle.
Yeah, the first
episode.
2 were kind of opposite in that sense. So like the
Yeah.
first episode was very much like you're just interacting with NPCs.
Yeah.
And then this one is all like just like physical, what is your character capable of? And so I think rather than it just being on the first episode, the first 2 episodes, we were just getting a feel for our characters and like the range of their abilities, both like with personal interactions with NPCs and with just the physical stuff.
I really liked the image of opening the door to a cliff. That was
Mhm.
really fun.
Yeah.
That was
a-
the
that was a good idea.
original.
That's where it
thought.
came from, yeah.
It was like I wanted them to open the door and just it's a
Drop
cliff.
off. Yeah. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah,
Up-
Joe, where? Oh, go ahead.
No, I thought it was a really fun image. I could see it so clearly. That whole episode,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah, I
I can
can
see
too.
visually very
It
clearly.
was
Yeah, me
very
too.
evocative.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I loved that. Very good.
Where did you what was your goal with this episode? When you first started and you had the like main idea, what was your like going into it? What was your like goal and what were your thoughts and like what did you have and then what did you like discover as you continue to DM?
Yeah, well, I've DM'd a lot, I think at least with our group, I have the most experience DMing. I think, and you know, I've done like long form campaigns, but I've always liked the idea of like whenever I've written like a one shot, or anything like that. I mean, basically what this podcast is basically a one shot, an episodic one shot podcast, with some underlying story tones and similar characters. And whenever I've written a one shot / ran a one shot, one of the things that I've always felt works best is just super simple. Like, simplicity is key almost, to keep the whole thing having a good pace, but also, like, I think, and maybe people who have played D&D can speak to this, like, one shots usually end up taking a long time, and sometimes you barely even get to the end, and people, like, or you get to the end and people are exhausted and you kind of just wrap it up really fast, which is like whatever, but usually it's because I think one shots are a little overcomplicated. And so my goal was, with that one specifically, like, I wanted to do something extremely, extremely simple, but like really difficult to achieve. And then I forget what we rolled for that episode. It was wild cards was something.
Yeah, I can't
and-
remember.
It was wild card.
Was it?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
it
that's
was.
right.
It was wild
Yeah.
card.
And
wild
yeah, because
card.
I have my cereal
Oh.
cereal people one.
But it was too early.
It was too early.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I just liked the idea of a cliff, but then just like something across on the other side of the cliff is you just had to grab it and just bring it back, and it was probably 500 feet away, but it was not going to be a straight line to get there, and you had to figure it out. So I just wanted to be super simple, so it's just grab an egg and let you guys just kind of figure out how you do that. But I didn't want it to potentially drag on for a really long time, because it was the first episode I had DM'd, so I didn't want to make it super long or anything. But I think that was the goal, was just keep it simple and make everybody have to work together to figure it out. I didn't really know how you guys were gonna figure it out, to be honest. But that's part of the improv part. I figured you'd just try to climb the wall and then go around. But I don't know. It was fun. I think the toughest part for that one was, like, because there was a lot of, like, measurements involved, like trying to figure out, like, how far away the thing technically was, and then, like, the mechanics of the wall, because I had to come up with them immediately. Like, the only downsides to the whole thing was, like, you guys had to climb, like, a ton, which made sense, but, like, it was just, like, rolling and rolling and rolling.
Yeah.
And so, like, I kind of wish I had done that differently looking back, but I don't know how I would have fixed it.
It
but.
was fun though. I will say I really do love moments like in campaigns where it's not like, okay, you travel for a day and now you're here, and like it's a super like macro view of what's going on in the story.
Yes.
I love when it like we have those moments of like, you place your hand on a rock, do you slip? Roll a dice, because I feel like there's certain times where you're like, oh my gosh, my choices mean like a lot, because if I slip and I fall and then I don't roll a good strength save and then my other friend doesn't roll a good strength save, I'm dead, you know?
Yeah.
And
It's
so
a lot more immersive that way.
it is fun to have like moments like that. So
Yeah.
I thought that
I
was
agree.
Well, and also because the specific situation was like really wet rocks
Yeah.
and a really high cliff, I didn't want everyone to just roll once and be like, congrats, you're
Right.
experts.
That's too
Yeah.
easy.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's fun.
so
I think something that's so interesting and can be hard about what we're doing here is, just like you're saying, we're doing little one shots, and like we're also at the same time trying to be really mindful of like, okay, we don't want this to be a 6-hour episode, and also like we're often recording in the evenings and whatever, so we're not trying to be recording till 1 a.m. you know. So
Right.
it's an interesting thing to, you know, to on the spot go, okay, how am I starting this? How am I ending this? How do we get there? How is it still a good story, but but only, you know, 2 or 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing. But I think that something else that's just kind of cool about the way we do it is we all love RPing. Like, we can fill hours with just like random RP, which also is a danger sometimes, because then we're like in Woodbine for the whole first half of the episode, and it's like, okay, we gotta go.
Well,
But
yeah, I'll say something I've learned just doing this season is that the more space I give for things that are unexpected and things I don't plan for, the better the one shot usually goes.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll talk about the rest of the episodes as we do more bunker episodes, but like there was definitely episodes that I was too like ambitious, and I tried to fit too much in, and that's why I thought this episode was great, is because it was like just one simple thing, and I think that's better because it also gives room for the players to feel like they can stop and have an RP moment.
Yeah.
And ultimately, like for me, that's what makes it fun, because then you feel like you have a motivation as a character, you feel like you have a relationship with all the rest of the characters, like you find that there's more stakes, like emotionally, there's more like subplots come up, like it's just more fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I also agree with that. Dang it, I was gonna say something. I forgot what it was.
I love this music.
I think, yeah. Shout out Stream Cafe for your free music.
Nice.
One thing that I really, I think that helps a lot too, because we haven't had an episode yet, I would argue, that we've had to rush the ending for the sake of like time. Like most of them have been around 2-3 hours, but like the endings are never like, well, great, well then you just get home, I guess, and it's over. I think one thing that helps is we have a goal at the beginning of every episode from the book of just like, this is what you have to do, because it keeps our characters, even if it's in the back of their mind, very on track of like, no, we need to do this thing.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of one shots will be like, okay, you go to this place and you don't really know what's happening and you don't know what this is, and you got to go figure out who to talk to and what to do and what your goal even
you need to
is.
go find your quest.
You got to go find it first.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas we're just like, go do this thing. And so I think that helps too.
I totally
it's like
agree.
we all have a goal and we know and we stick to it for the most part.
And that was totally by design. I mean,
Yeah,
we
100%.
knew that the fact that we're going to be playing recurring characters with like improv one-shots every week, we knew that we needed to make it as straightforward as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So episode 2 was like me trying to be as safe as possible with that thought.
Yeah.
Of like, I really don't want it to run long, you know?
Josiah, you did the first episode DMing-wise, so this is like, not that you couldn't play your character then, but it's just so much harder to play your character when you're DMing. Like,
Right. Yeah.
how did this episode feel? How did it help you find the character a little bit more?
Yeah, I think because like I said, this episode, like, it wasn't really NPC interaction at all, and so I wasn't doing that much RP except for when, like, moments when our characters were talking to each other maybe. And so it was like especially right at the beginning, coming off of that cliff, it's physical abilities that I'm worried about figuring out. I felt like for this episode, that was my focus, is just like, okay, how do I use my character? How does he operate from a more technical standpoint, rather than worrying too much about how his character was developing in that episode. It was cool to see like how that kind of created more space for other people's characters to be developed earlier on, and then it's kind of like it kind of switched off because there was a little bit of a delay in that sense with my character developing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like you kind of, when you switch off DMing, like you kind of have to have moments where you like let your character have a little bit of a sideline moment, but it's good because it allows other characters to have their moments too.
Yeah. And if you crowd it all too much in one episode, it can feel like a little heavy.
Yeah.
Or disconnected if it switches too quickly from one to another. So yeah.
And the cool thing is too is like, from seeing how the season has played out, like we've definitely got those moments. Like each character gets their own sort of arc and moment, and that wasn't it wasn't intentional by switching off DMs, but it like works well to do it that way.
And it worked really well for my character that I had more time to figure out a story, because I didn't really have much depth to my backstory, just because I wasn't really focusing on that when the rest of you guys were in the beginning.
Yeah.
So it was like the way the dice rolled, I just had a little bit of extra time to flesh that out.
I really wish you went to talk to those bears.
I did too.
Yeah. I couldn't speak with animals at that point.
Could I?
Yeah.
I could.
We decided to sneak around, and I remember you wanted to talk to them at one point.
I think we
and
ended
then
up shooting a couple of them, right?
Yeah.
I think I shot it down, and
Yeah,
then
you did.
Josiah, Ace literally shot one of them down.
Yeah.
They died.
Yeah, because we were like,
Yeah,
we gotta
one
leave
of
them
them
as
died.
bait.
Horrible.
We have to leave them as bait for the.
Yeah.
I had,
that was pretty
this
sad.
whole thing of like,
Yeah.
in my head, I was like, there's going to be bears. And I didn't know what was going to happen. But I had like, there was like a cub and his dad. And his dad was teaching him how to go fishing.
Oh,
and then
no.
his uncle was there too.
Oh,
And it was
man.
it's like, I think you made that. Or no, you were going to make a big fish in the river. Did you actually
Yeah.
do that?
Well,
I think
there was a
you
whole
were gonna, but
thing-
then didn't.
There was a whole thing of where I was like, I do this and this and this, and then I looked at the spell and went,
And you're
wait,
like,
I can't do any of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So but yeah, I was like hoping you'd go talk because they were like all really excited and the cub was all excited. And then like even in my head as it was going, like obviously I thought about that beforehand. So then like Josiah started like shooting him.
and you were
or
like,
Ace started shooting him. And I just like in my head pictured like the dad just like, my boy! He shot my boy!
Oh,
I felt so bad when they did that because it's like those poor bears
the
were minding their
uncle
own
was the
business.
one that was yanked away and like dropped off the cliff,
no!
remember?
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh.
Uncle was, but the boy lived. The boy and the
The boy who
the
lived.
boy-
The bear
boy
who
and
lived.
The cub and his dad lived, but
Oh, that's
yeah, I was
so
hoping you were
sad.
going to talk to him.
That's rough.
We
but-
should have. We should have taken a different approach.
That's
Man,
okay.
We've ruined baby's first hunting trip.
Yeah, he's been scarred. Nature runs its course.
I loved when you revealed the rock.
Mm.
That was one of my favorite moments.
The
'Cause
Rock
I
is
was-
a bird, by the way, not
Yes.
Dwayne the Rock
Right.
Johnson
Yeah.
or a rock
Well, the rock
Or a
was
pet
in it.
rock.
or a pet rock.
I don't remember. Did we make a lot of rock jokes?
Yes.
Okay,
no, I don't think so. I
No.
just
No, we
the rock
didn't.
is always like an interesting one to me. Where
Well,
I'm
because
like,
there was
people
also
just
a
gonna think it's a rock.
Yeah.
manticore.
It was a manticore, and then the rock
Yeah.
showed up.
And then we were
But-
like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, the rock!
But like,
He's here!
it was just funny because like we're playing level 1 characters, and then like the manticore's already kind of like, oh no.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like maybe we could have taken him if we were like smart about it and we like hid and like all this stuff. And then this huge ass bird, excuse my language.
How dare you?
I don't know what we're allowed to say.
Why would you call Josiah that? That's
Yeah.
very mean.
I'm.
This
God.
huge ass bird.
I gotta go home.
Then this bird shows up and it's like ginormous and like I don't know, that image for me, like I was so in it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
I think it's fun to, and I want to do it more, to make like encounters and things in D&D that don't like necessarily scale with level.
Yeah.
Where like sometimes it's like the easiest thing in the world where it's just like a bunch of frogs and you just gotta stab them, and sometimes it's something that's way too big,
Like you
and
need to
gotta
run.
run.
Yeah.
And
True.
now I think you can get into a slippery slope there if you're not very open with your characters or with your players about that, because your players could just think that everything you put in front of them is
Beatable.
it's beatable.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And you don't want to freak them out and then make them run away, and then make them all die. But I think if you're open about that, that can be really fun because it challenges players to have to be more strategic,
Like to actually think about
and
it.
about how they go about what they do, and I think that's quite fun, and I think it's underutilized.
Yeah.
I think that
It-
idea.
It raises the stakes a little more too.
Yeah.
Because every decision we make of like, are we gonna run into this, initiative? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's more like, wait a minute, we actually have to think about it. It's not just like, oh well, we can beat it if we do
100%.
it right,
Yeah, and if you think about real life, like challenges in real life do not scale with
No.
where we are and are
No.
always even
Right.
matches for us, if you
Right.
will. And so, even like in our long form campaign that we play on the side, like there's a lot of you guys are kind of getting to the end of it and you're pretty strong, but there's like a lot of encounters that you've had recently that I planned for like way back when you were way weaker.
Right. Yeah.
And you guys just like steamrolled them.
Yeah.
But it's because that's how it happens. They don't just get stronger because
because
you're
higher
stronger,
level, right?
and they don't
Yeah,
get
that's
weaker because you're not as strong.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
And it was also fun too, because then we it was hard. It was gonna be hard in that moment, and then when we didn't do it, we left, got stronger, and then we came back and did it, and I was like, whoa, look how much we've grown. Like it was
Mhm.
a cool little measurement too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to see those things.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to see those things.
It is kind of fun to see those things, isn't it?
Sorry, I said it twice because I knocked my mic, but maybe I'll keep it in the recording. I don't know. I shouldn't have said this. No, wait, Joe's editing this one.
Oh, I am? Excellent. Both
Yeah.
will be in.
No.
Perfect.
In fact, I might copy it a third time just so you say it 3 times.
No.
I'll just copy and paste it.
I love this.
Okay, but hold
It's
on.
fun to see these
Hey,
things.
this is pretty fun that this we also have, we have a lot of subplots in this show of like our characters, and there's another subplot of me and Laura just being like, I'm keeping that in.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
you dare!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
war, the editing war that
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have.
I will say, Joe, when I know that you're going to edit an episode, I think twice about what I'm going to say sometimes.
Aw.
Because I go.
She's like, how will he use this against me?
Because if I'm editing it, I'm like, I feel a little more comfortable being like, oh, you just edit it
I'll
out if
just
I
cut
mess
it.
out. But like, I'm like, Joe
Not
will
me.
keep
Yeah.
it in.
I will keep
Joe,
it
go
in.
ahead and put it in right here. Again, what she said.
Psych, I'm the one editing the episode this week, actually, so too bad. Sucks for you. Laura 1, Joe 0.
Awesome.
So
That is a
mean.
good point. That is
Yeah.
a good point, Laura.
No, shut up. That's so mean.
Oh boy. I feel like also, I mean, this is the second bunker episode, and I don't know if the first one's been edited yet either.
Not
But
yet.
I feel like we can have a lot more fun with
Oh,
these,
yeah.
so that will be happening.
I'm editing the first one. I haven't gotten it yet. I was also in Georgia in the first one, so I felt like it wasn't as
That's true.
it wasn't as
yeah,
fun to
I
talk to you
forgot
guys
about
because I was
that.
doing it over Zoom.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot you were on Zoom.
Yeah.
Bet you had no idea, listeners. Bet you had no idea.
Yeah.
I'll bet they had
Well,
no idea.
I bet they didn't.
Yeah.
I thought that it was funny how didn't you like pick up the egg and then the door opened on the observatory, and if you put it down the door closed
Yeah.
again. That was
Yes.
funny.
I did like
Yeah.
that. That
Yeah,
was
to
I
fun.
was
get-
like, oh
you had
heck
to
yeah,
get
you
the
gotta
egg.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get an
It
egg.
was fun because we normally can't see the door of the
Oh, yeah,
observatory.
that's true.
So like it was funny to see like, oh, as soon as we finish the thing, or as soon
Door's
as we're
open.
in process of finishing it. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, the end image was very cool.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Little June.
Little June
In
and
the
the big
doorway.
old rock.
That was fun.
Would love to
was a
see
cute
some
little
fan art
moment.
of that one.
Wow. Fans,
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's
Mom.
episode 2.
There's no way.
Mom, can you hire someone to draw that?
Hey, Liv.
Literally.
Hey, Livy.
Mom, there's a
Yo,
website called
Libby.
Fiverr. I need you to go there. Find me an artist.
There's literally like probably
Oh,
one or two
boy.
people listening.
I think
at
it's
the
literally
most.
our friends. Hey guys, shout out to you.
If
our
they've even
friends.
gotten this far.
Yep.
Yeah.
If okay, here's a fun question.
Okay.
If any of you guys were our friends, would you even listen to this?
No. 100%
No, I
would.
totally would too.
Well,
Wait,
I
I
love
have an
D&D
idea.
podcasts.
You guys keep
so.
this running.
Okay.
Oh, and now a quick message from our sponsors. Over to you, Josiah.
Sure. So today's episode, short as it is sponsored by Weird Plastic Knives. Get your 3-year-old a plastic knife. There are different varieties. You can get a full. You can get up to a full machete. You know, you can get a. You can get a switchblade. You can get a karambit for your child.
I'm personally partial to the steak knife from
Steak
Big
knives are
fan,
great.
big fan,
Great
yes.
knives.
So thank you.
Those daggers. Those
Mhm,
stilettos, not
mhm.
the right word. Or maybe
Stiletto's a shoe.
that's correct. I don't know what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
You can get a
Um,
classic medieval
Yeah.
dagger or a knife for your son.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much
We're so
for
grateful.
sending us tiny plastic knives for our children.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing, Josiah. We probably shouldn't use real brand names. So scratch that.
Okay, so I
That's
got these
fine.
things a long time ago, and I've
Uh-oh.
never used them. So I think they'd be fun. This is Joe's little addition to the bunker episodes from now on.
Okay.
Fun.
These are called pod decks. You can buy them. Sponsor us,
Oh.
pod decks, if you
Please.
want to, please. And I have 5 of them. I have what the heck questions, an interview deck, episode deck, would you rather deck, and a second interview deck. So I was thinking you could roll a d6.
Yeah.
But you rolled a 6, which I would say is like a wild card.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick
And
the
so
color.
you get to
I picked
yeah,
green.
yeah, sure. Okay, so that's a what the heck
Okay.
question.
And how many cards are there?
And I think we should do
52?
one of these in every episode.
That's fun. I
That's
like
fun.
Have
that.
Josiah draw it from your hand.
There's a full deck.
Get as many people involved. I'll draw it, but then Laura will read it.
No.
Josiah, why don't you read that question for us?
I need you to fan those out a little bit more and
What are you
maybe
talking
grip
about?
them loosely because I can't even get a card. Here we go. All right, here we go.
Oh, am I
Laura's
reading?
reading it? We're going all over
We
the
have
place.
to involve the entire group.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Have you ever
My only
had...
job was to just pull the cards out of the box.
That's great.
All right.
And Laura's only job is to read.
I was reading
so
the
Laura was
question.
talking?
Excuse me.
What's a goofy laugh?
All right. And quiet on
gosh.
set.
Thank you, places.
I hate.
All right, go
my
ahead.
Gosh. Have you ever had a "this can't be happening" moment? What was it?
Oh, yes.
Wait, I want to hear this. I don't even know.
We can't talk about it.
I was talking about a podcast moment, but we can't talk about it.
What podcast
Because
moment?
in the future,
Yeah, it's in the future.
Well, tell me so I remember.
we can hint at it, make people want to listen.
Well, first tell
Okay.
me. Oh!
Like the big moment. I can't believe this is happening right
the
now.
moment.
oh,
Duh.
yeah. Hey, listeners, there's a moment
Stay
for sure,
tuned.
and it's later in the season, and you'll know it when you hear it. It's
Yeah, and
it's
then
always-
once you
this
listen
can't
to
be
that,
happening.
come back to this and be like, "Oh my gosh, I heard the moment."
Should we tell them what episode?
No,
Okay.
It's
that's
just
too much of a spoiler.
you'll know it when you hear it.
You'll know it.
when you
You'll
hear it.
absolutely. If you listen to episodes and you're like, "Oh, is this the moment?" Then you're wrong. Because
Earl
when
the
you listen
squirrel
to it, you're
turns
gonna
out to
go,
be-
"This is the moment," and you'll be right.
Earl the squirrel turns out to be an evil underlord from
Yeah.
who controls a squirrel
Do you
army.
mean Overlord?
No, he works under.
Under who?
He is above all, but nothing is beneath him, or whatever. The
Beneath-
underdog.
Beneath where?
Underminer.
The Underminer.
I am always beneath you, but
But
nothing is beneath me.
I declare war on peace and happiness.
Dude, the Underminer's sick.
I love The Incredibles. I have to say that
a great
movie
movie.
is so solid.
Yeah, The Incredibles
It's
rocks.
hilarious. It's incredible.
It's great.
I just want everyone to know that Laura's socks say "Go away, I'm reading."
Yeah.
Yeah, and the first time she wore them, she put them on the wrong feet.
Yeah,
That's
instead,
true.
If you
As
can
if she
read-
didn't read
If you can
them.
read this, go away. I'm reading.
But instead, last time it said "Go away, I'm reading." If you can read this,
Yeah,
I mean, it works both
that's
ways.
what it is now.
it does actually.
That's
so
technically
I
what
stand
it is
Actually,
right
it's
now.
still doing that right now.
Yeah,
and that's actually
because they're
fine.
supposed to be crossed.
Yeah. Oh, wait,
I
what?
guess. They're supposed to be
No,
like that, right?
No.
It's
Right
if you can
now
read
it's-
this, go away, I'm reading.
Right, but
Shout out to
if
Maggie.
you hold it up, it still says
Maggie.
"Go away."
She bought these for me.
It
Wait,
says,
didn't
go away, I'm reading if you can read this. Implying that you're only reading if somebody is reading that.
Like
Yeah.
because
basically,
you're laying down, right?
basically, if you can read, you read this and know that I'm reading, so go away.
Guys, leave a comment on what
if you
think
think
about
that you're
Laura's
reading
socks.
this and you can't read this, and then if you should go away.
They're really fun. I really like them.
I like
I wear
them too.
them
They're cute.
entirely
That's
too
awesome.
much.
They got some books on them.
Yes.
Well, anything else we want to talk about with episode 2?
We didn't really answer the question on the card.
No, we
just
didn't.
Well, we
mentioned
can't,
that
so
we thought of
can't
something.
we did. We hinted at it.
Yeah,
We
they'll
just
understand.
hinted at there actually is one of those moments that happened in our lives that is in this show.
Oh,
they'll
are
respect
we
it.
specifically answering this question through the filter of this show?
Not necessarily, but we should probably
But
try.
for this one, we did
Yeah,
for sure.
for this
I-
one we definitely
maybe we
did.
just do that for all of them.
well,
is
we can do
just-
our best, and
Yeah,
if
we'll
not,
just see
we
what
don't.
the question is.
Yeah.
And for this one,
It did.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
I think that's good on episode 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing, guys.
Hey guys,
It was
feel
a fun
free to comment on our YouTube or on our Instagram, or send us a DM on Instagram, or email us at whirlwindchronicles@gmail.com if you want to just like say what's up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or ask us questions, or
Yeah.
a lot of other things.
Yeah.
but-
Ask us a comment out loud right now to yourself, and then write that you asked that question down in the comments of our Instagram.
we will only
Take a-
accept it if you
Gosh.
did
Yeah.
say it out loud.
Take
to
a
yourself
video.
right
Take
now.
a video of yourself
So true.
asking
Send
a
us
question
video.
and email us that
Gosh.
video.
That's a good idea,
So
and then we'll
convoluted.
include it on the podcast. If
Yeah.
you send us a video of you asking a question, you might be the lucky winner that gets to be on the show.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Can't wait to see videos from our moms.
Oh my gosh.
And
well,
that's all.
yeah. Make sure you tune in next week for episode 3. I have to
Episode
say,
3 is a fun one.
it's fun.
Yeah, yeah.
I really like that one.
yeah. Episode 3 is a cool one.
Yeah,
It's
it's
got
a-
like
Don't
I'm not.
no spoilers.
We're not spoiling it. We're just
All
just
the episodes
teasing
are
I
it.
think
cool
episode
ones.
3 is like a is like a turning point almost for
It's a-
some things.
Yeah, it's a big turning point for our characters. I think it started the momentum, I think, for our characters in this season. All right. See you later.
Bye.
See you later.
Ta-ta.
That was a bad ending.
Yep. That was
Redo
probably
it.
the
Let's
worst.
redo it.